Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Transformation Tuesday. I hope you're well today. And I hope whatever you're doing, you are finding peace in that. And we're talking about that today. I want to talk about peace in here and the many wars that we run in here and in here. And that, it really is time to sort out some of those battles. And I guess life has given many of us the space and the time to do that right now, and to really go within and, understand, feel, discover, explore, look at, bring to light some of those battles that are going on within you. Now, if you're here, let me know in the comments. If you need to be watching from my page, Trish Rock Transformation, for me to see the comments. So if you're watching from another page, make sure you come over to this one. And I'm happy to take some questions today as well, if I can help you in any way. So let me check if you are here. Just give me a bit of a hands up. Yeah, all good. We are live. Perfect. I don't always check that. When I have gone live in the past, I've never really checked on things because it's just worked. But technology's been very clicky lately, I think, with so many people online. So I just have to check that the sound is on and that we are live. So the war within, this is something that is a constant transformation in our lives, because there's always a conflict going on within us about something. And why is there conflict? Because we've got old beliefs, old fears, old voices, old paradigms, old perceptions that start to become a little bit unstuck when we expand and we have new understanding of things. Now, what we know today can absolutely change in every moment, and by tomorrow, your perception of some things in your life right now will be different. And with that creates that inner turmoil. And how does this show up? Let me give you a few examples. So you could have an inner conflict about relationship. You could have an inner conflict about your job, your career, your purpose, what you like, what you don't like, what's going on at the moment with everything. And even just those differences of opinion with other people or with media in general can create this conflict. And I know for many of my clients at the moment, and this might be you as well, the conflict is in the expansion. The conflict is in, I had this perspective yesterday, which gave me these beliefs, and, I enjoyed this, but today I don't feel that way. And so, there's the conflict, there's the war, and let's battle with that, right? The new wants to emerge, the old wants to hang on. And in any personal development work, this is what happens. There's those two polarities within you, those two voices, those two beliefs, the old one and the new one, that are both fighting for pole position, and it creates tension, and it creates this war within. Now, right at this moment, with everything that's happening on the planet, and look, it's always been the case, but it just seems a lot more heightened right now. We are being called to find the peace within us, to end that battle within us. And there's often not a lot we can do about the battles and the wars that are going on around us. Yes, we don't want to shrink and be quiet and not have a proactive say or a engagement in that, but trying to change how other people think is just creating a war of its own. The only person you can change and the only person that you have any say over is you. How you think, how you feel, what you do, what you say, and how you show up. So if you are feeling in a conflict with something at the moment, you've got to sort it out within you. Ultimately, life is an experience, right? Life is an experience. It just is. It's our view on it that makes it emotionally charged in a positive way or a negative way. So that negative charge, those negative feelings that are creating a bit of a battle within you, it's up to you to change your perspective on that and come to a greater understanding of it so that you can feel more peaceful about it. I see for many people right now that, one of the things that is coming up, let's mess my hair up. One of the things that is coming up, especially if you've either been retrenched from your job or you're working from home now, is a real sense of misalignment now, because you've really been given the opportunity now to ask yourself, what is it that I feel good doing? Who do I want to show up as in this world? What's my calling? What's been calling me? This was a big battle I went through 10 or 11 years ago, after 28 years in the nail salon industry and many businesses. It just wasn't my passion anymore. And, that becomes a real battle in here, because you feel guilty. It's like, oh, well, but this is what I do and I should be loving it, and I've built this up, and there's all this guilt and this shame because people have said for centuries, thousands of years, it's been ingrained to us that we shouldn't expect more and that we shouldn't want more, right? You've got all that fabulousness in your life. Why would you want more? Yeah. So for a lot of us who are in conflict right now with ourselves about where we are and what we actually want to be doing in life, and what, that purpose that's calling us, it's clashing with what we're currently doing. And that creates conflict. And I've been through that conflict. But, when you can understand that it's okay to want more, it's okay to want something different, it's okay to be different, it's okay to transform yourself, it's okay to transform your life, then the freedom and the peace comes, and then you can take it step by step and, just have that peace within you that, yeah, you know what? I can change my perspective on this. I can ask for more. I can want more in life. I can choose to create more in my life, and I can take this fork in the road and choose something else right now, and it's okay for me to do that. That in itself will calm a lot of the battle there that's going on within you. Some of the other tension that people are feeling now is the conflict of how they're feeling compared to how other people are feeling. And often this is a case of taking on other people's energy as well, right? So, before you investigate why you're feeling a certain way, right? Don't worry, I've been down that rabbit hole and peeling the onion and wondering why I'm feeling that way, and it wasn't even mine. So before you go down that rabbit hole of, finding out why you're feeling a certain way, just do a really big sweep of your body and, whatever, and just say to yourself, whatever is not mine, I return to sender with love. Do it a couple of times if you need to, because not all of the energy that you have is yours. We are soaking it in from other people. And at the moment, of course, if you're tied to the media and tied to social media, you'll be soaking in all of this information, but with that information comes energy. So give your body a big sweep. You can just, I like simplicity. So I just run my hand down the front of my energy like this, and so I return whatever's not mine, I return to sender with love. Some of my clients like to actually do it over their whole body, right? Entirely up to you. But do that first, and then whatever feelings are left, whatever energies are left there, then they are yours, and then you can deal with those and try to find the peace amongst that. Getting really clear on what the battle actually is important here too, because if you're fighting a few battles all at once, you can't solve them all at once, right? You can't solve a problem when you're in the problem. You've got to actually just try to clarify what's going on. So I would definitely do some meditating on that, and some clearing and some writing, and really just ask yourself, well, why is this all of a sudden coming up for me, and why do I feel at odds with this when I used to feel good about it, right? And just ask yourself perhaps what's changed, what has changed with you, with your perspective, with life, with circumstance. Yeah, because you're not the same person today as you were yesterday, and that's okay. And with that comes new ideas, new feelings, new wants, new needs, new dreams, new goals. Yeah, and we've got to keep evolving with that, and we've got to keep asking ourselves, what's next? How can I expand more now? What's my next step? What can I learn today? How can I grow today? And hey, Tanya. And that stops a lot of the inner criticism and inner judgment. And this is another war that's going on within us as well, which I wanted to talk about today, is this inner critic. This is a massive war that goes on within us. And when will it end? When will it end? The criticism, the self-criticism, the self-judgment, the self-hatred. When will it end? It will end when you stop judging yourself, and when you can really see the uniqueness of you, and really boost up that self-love. If you are attracting people that criticize and judge you, that is also just another sign there in your reality that you are judging yourself. If you are doing the judging and the criticism of other people, that is another sign that you are judging yourself. Because if you fully accept yourself and who you are, then there's no judgment and no criticism. And if there's no judgment or criticism about you and who you are, then you will have no judgment about anyone else. This is how it works. And it works on all levels, right? It works on all levels. So if you've got someone showing up in your life that doesn't respect you. This is you. It's a message for you to say, where are you not respecting yourself, and build that up. And then people will start respecting you. The ones that don't will disappear. Right? So this is a big war that I feel people are going through within themselves at the moment too. Especially if especially for the people who aren't used to being on their own as such, right? In this world we live in, there are a lot of humans who don't want to look at the conflict in here. And so it gets hidden amongst busyness. It just gets suppressed. And if they've got the distraction of people and busyness and life and everything around them, they can numb themselves to that and just push it down. It's not important. But it will keep coming back up. So at the moment, for many people who don't have that outside validation and that outside stimulation of other people around and the busyness, and they're just left with their own mind and their own heart and their own quietness, all of this stuff's coming up. All of this stuff is coming up, and it can be, it can lead to tears. It can lead to a real release of sadness and energy. And if that's happening for you, let that go as well. If you need to have a cry, let us have a cry. Let it go. If you need to write down, because anything that is rising up in you is there to be looked at, so that whatever conflict it's creating within you can be resolved. So, and reach out, certainly, if you need support or need help with that. Reach out to somebody that you can trust, someone who's got your back, who you can just be vulnerable with, and allow yourself to work through that. But that's a really big battle that so many people are going through. Now, why is it important for us to have a look at these battles within us and really find deep peace? Because we are a reflection of, it's the other way around. The whole universe is a reflection of us. We are all one consciousness experiencing life as unique individuals. So as such, we are part of the whole. So any conflict we're carrying is also part of the whole. Now, you finding peace today is not going to stop all the war that's going on in the world immediately. But it will stop you from the conflict and the feelings of that are going on within you. So ultimately, you can feel more peaceful, which then radiates out and ripples out to everyone around you. And this is how it gives other people permission to find that peace as well. So that's why it's important. But on a dimensional level, it is really important, because there are other beings in this universe that are also in conflict. There are other armies and galactic armies and ninth dimensional kind of conflicts going on, that they're really looking back to this third and fourth dimension that the earth is basically in, and helping us all to rise up into a more higher fourth dimension and the fifth dimension aspect of things, which is where we can see everything as an experience. And that's it. and understand that it's an experience, and not get so, emotionally activated with our reactions to what's good and what's bad. And when we can do that and really have that aspect of the fifth dimension mind and energy, it really does create this peace. It doesn't stop us from experiencing everything, but it allows us to see it in a clearer way. And that is really where we're all heading. And so, what are your first steps now if you're feeling this way? Try to understand what it is inside of you that is not feeling peaceful right now. I think the two main ones really are, from what I've seen and from what I've heard from my clients, the two main ones are this, inner conflict with self and accepting yourself for the unique, beautiful, magnificent being that you are, and stopping all the judgment and the criticism about you. It's the first conflict. The second one is about where you're heading in life. What's your purpose? Right? If you're on purpose right now, you won't be feeling this conflict. If things are changing for you in your work life, in your career, in your daily life, and you're feeling this calling, it's getting louder and louder, this will be creating some unease within you of fear, probably, of like, oh, who am I to take the next step, right? Or who am I to want more? Who am I to want to, do that thing that brings me so much joy when I should be doing this is because what people expect, right? This brings up conflict. So ask yourself, what is that conflict? And if there is a fear of taking that next step of moving forward into what really brings you joy, ask yourself what that fear is. Is it your fear, or is it expectations of others and other people's fears that you're soaking in? So that's that's really the answer, is to ask yourself what the conflict is about. Why are things feeling not at ease for you? Right? Find out, hone in on it. What actually is it? And it's often not what you think it is. And this is I guess this is the magic I bring in when I'm working with clients, because I can see behind what they think the problem is. And it's never really what we think it is. There's always some battle going on underneath that, based on old beliefs, fears, other people's energies, and our conflict with ourselves to be ourselves. And that really does stop a lot of people from living their best life and from shining their brightest light. And the time has come for us not to sit there and shrink and dull our light so that we don't upset other people, or so that we don't step out of the norm, like we don't step out of the herd, right? Or we need to understand that whatever the fears are about us doing that, they're not as bad as we're imagining. And the fear usually is if you're in the past, or if you're projecting into the future about some future event that hasn't even happened yet. So it's about really coming into the now. So let's do a couple of deep breaths together now. And close your eyes if you like, or we can focus on my beautiful spirit guide here if you like. Focus on that beautiful light over his head. And let's just take a couple of really deep breaths, okay, right into the stomach, right to the bottom of the lungs. Breathe in. And really feel it as you breathe in. Really focus on feeling that breath going into your body. Breathe in love. Breathe in light. Breathe in healing. And breathe in peace. And so when you are feeling in those frantic energies, when you are in any conflict in your environment or within you, try to remove yourself from that conflict and find somewhere quiet where you can really just breathe for a few moments. We'll do some meditation and really breathe in, find the peace again, and then really get clear on what the conflict actually is. Because it will always be within here, right? It won't be to do with the external. And if you can really start within and ask yourself, what am I fighting here? What am I in conflict with here? What is the old belief that I'm, moving away from? What is the voice of fear, one of my inner children, something that I disconnected with at some stage in life? What is that voice that is calling, and why is it frightened to move forward? Asking these questions will really help. But as I said before, I think two of the biggest battles right now is this inner conflict of being more in tune with you and really believing in yourself. And the other conflict is about what you do on a daily basis and what you do in this world. And I think a lot of people are rethinking that because what they've been doing doesn't make sense anymore. So, just write it down, and it will help. Okay, so I think that's it. If you would like to reach out and get some help on these, just private message me, or set up a reading. I can give you a reading, or head over to my website and book in for a call with me. Because if you are having conflict with your purpose and what you want to be and what you want to bring and how you want to serve in this life, if you're having conflict with that, I can really help you find clarity on that, because that's where I was, and I know how it feels to be in that and to move forward from that, and to really find that sweet spot in life where you really are living your true purpose, on purpose, with purpose, and serving others in a way that really makes a difference. All right. Thank you for joining me this Transformational Tuesday. And I hope you have an amazing, amazing week. Thank you, everyone. Bye for now.